Oh, let's get this going.
Let's get this going. I'm Robert Sawyer.
And I'm Mrs. Sawyer.
Together we are in love. Oh, is there something else you wanted to say, dear?
Yeah, you know what I was trying to do, the opening you tried to throw.
Oh, that together we are the only black kids in the class.
Yes.
It's also a factual statement. I was just bringing up other facts.
I see how this is going.
Yeah. No shenanigans. Just good times and good vibes.
You're full of the shenanigans today.
I've never shenaned.
Yes.
Henceforth, I cannot shenan again. How are you feeling?
I'm a little tired.
Got the yawnies?
I do have the yawnies.
You know, if you say yawnies, you can't laugh at somebody that says nummies.
No, yes, I can.
Well, okay. You can do whatever you want. Girl.
Exactly, I can. I think it's the sun. I think I'm allergic.
Allergic to the sun.
Oh my gosh. I get an instant headache when I walk outside. Like,
do you have a cousin named Blade?
No.
Dracula?
No.
Edward?
I'm telling you. No. The sun just takes it out of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did your 23andMe have any Transylvania?
No.
I just want to just want to know where we stand.
I think I must be like a extension of the sun. It just absorbs all my energy.
The sun gives me energy.
No, it takes.
But that's because I'm from Krypton, so
it takes my energy away from me.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what it does.
We are opposites.
We are. You love the sun. You love long days.
I would not say I love being in the sun.
No, but you love like summer days.
Yes.
You love the long days.
Yes.
The sun still being up at 8. You love
at 9.
That. You love that.
Yes, I do. But I don't love this heat. That's why I'm trying to say, let's move.
But it's hot everywhere.
Not like this.
This is crazy.
Not like this.
This is ridiculous. This
not
is
like
miserable.
This is a swamp.
This
is a
not
humid
want to
swamp
go outside
with termites, mosquitoes, and other nasties just in the air all the time.
Yes, that's what it is.
Rains for 3 hours.
That's how it feels like.
Then doesn't rain for 90 days.
I know.
Then rains all the time, then stops. No, not like this.
I know.
I don't love this.
I didn't even get good mangoes this year.
Terrible.
I know. So it's like, come on, where are my pros coming from?
What are we even doing?
What are we doing here?
Why are we here? So it's official.
What's official?
Only black kids are moving.
No.
Summer home?
Oh, now that I can do.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then you better keep making these episodes. That
I can do. Let's get that summer home.
Episode 1199. Guys, we did it.
Oh boy, look, I just got like a headache over my eye.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Should we cease recording?
No.
Are you okay?
No.
Can I get you something?
It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Is there anything I can get you?
No.
Okay.
It's just the sun.
If you feel too overwhelmed, let me know. I'm hoping these stories aren't too overwhelming.
No.
I actually had something that I thought of in the week that I wanted to ask you and the classmates.
Really? Something you didn't just you thought of something you didn't just ask me?
I thought of this earlier in the week. No, you weren't. You're at work.
Yeah, but you would just text me anyhow.
No, I don't really text you that much.
Okay.
Go back, look at your phone.
Okay.
Go back and look over the last year. I don't really text you in the day.
Okay.
You're busy.
You text me this week and I had a response for you. So that's
I'm not saying I never text you, but I don't just text to start conversation, just random.
That's fair. So what was on your mind this week that you want to ask me and the classmates?
So it might have been Monday or Tuesday. I was thinking of things that I've read where people go in the comment sections of larger famous people and they say, you haven't made a comment on insert world issue here. And I was thinking like, so wait, because you read crazy stories and stuff, do people want to hear from you regarding these very serious issues that range from anywhere from war and famine to economy and social justice? Like think when white people found out that racism still exists and they put the black squares, right? And you had to make a statement saying that murder is wrong.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to do that now?
No.
What is the expectation?
I mean, I don't know what the expectation is. I can tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna talk about anything I don't want to talk about.
I am more
That's
into
that
doing than talking about doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, for example, when racism was found out to still exist in the United States, I mean, who knew, right?
Shocking.
Who knew? Well, it's gone now because they changed.
Oh yeah,
It's the Pearl Miller Company now.
It's all gone, and
Well, no, it's the
DEI doesn't have to exist, and
It's the Pearl Miller Company now.
yeah, so it's been fixed. It's been fixed.
Never had Pearl Miller when I was a kid.
Yeah, and I think Uncle Ben's gone too.
I don't even know what he is now.
Yeah,
But thank God. Because you know what the real problem is? Black people having jobs.
yeah,
That was the
pancakes
problem.
and rice.
Yeah. So it's fixed now. But during that time, I was doing counseling sessions. I was offering discounted and even pro bono sessions for people that were undergoing undue stress.
Okay.
It's people of all races. And that's what I was doing. But I didn't make it.
You didn't have to do that. I mean, I know
post.
I know, like,
I didn't have to do that, but I felt that was a
Yeah.
need, and that was where I could provide service.
yeah, but I think you do that all the time.
I do pro bono
Depending
sessions
on- yes.
weekly. So you know,
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It depends on. I don't think you have to advertise that. I think that's
no,
I
I don't advertise.
I think that's
it.
what people. That's what cheapens it.
I don't know if it.
I mean,
cheapens it, though.
I think okay. So I think there's a point of view to like show support of certain initiatives. Like I can understand a company wanting to do that, especially if they recognize there's an improvement opportunity. Because I genuinely think, as much as we make fun of it, I really think a lot of people, that's not their life. They don't really realize that. And I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't, but I really think some people are oblivious to it because it's not their life.
It's like I've told you before. I care about a number of things, but where I put my energy is working with children and mental health.
Right.
I care about the whales. I
Right.
care about the environment, but I'm hoping that Greta is handling the environment stuff and getting the word out on that. I'm getting the word to the community I serve about
Right.
mental health and how to improve
Right.
that. And if Greta's doing her part, I'm doing my part, and you got a couple other million people doing their part, all issues are being addressed.
Right. You do. You
But
get it.
specifically to these greater issues, because I've seen people saying, I'm like, wait, you guys are waiting for insert this famous person who's like known for prank video. They don't even have to be famous. It could be like TikTok famous. You're waiting for this TikToker to make a statement. Like, does it, I'm not, awareness is great.
Yeah.
But this person's like 16. What do they, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, I think also just like, I always talk about the positive and negative of social media. People need to get a life. Like really, they're gonna always find something wrong to complain about. But then at the same time, it's open for them to do that. So if they voicing that they feel this special person should say something, then let them say it. But like, to me, it was with a grain of salt.
So what's the expectation for the only black kids?
That we're gonna do whatever the hell we want to do.
I highly doubt it will happen again.
That's it.
Because racism's been cured. But should something unfortunate happen,
We're gonna do whatever the hell we want to do.
my first thought isn't, get the phone, babe. We gotta post. That's not a thought I ever have. And I post a lot at Only Black Kids on social media.
I think also, like, sometimes when all that stuff is going on, it's like too much. Like there was parts where I didn't want to see the video over and over again. I didn't want to hear people talking about it again. It's one to like talk about it, be aware of it, and like, voice concerns and hope there's things that are going to go on to change. But then after a while, like reliving it and seeing it all the time, I was actually looking for postings of things that weren't nothing to do with that.
Well, we are not the news.
Correct.
We're not even a pop culture podcast. So while we live in a world where things happen and every once in a while you get to, pop out and show people, it doesn't mean that we're going to cover bit by bit. We don't do celebrity stuff. We talk about relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it comes up as a topic of conversation when we're like starting or we're doing homeroom or we want to add to it from a story that we're reading, then we can address it. Like I said, we can do whatever the hell we want to do. That's it.
I don't know. Like, I don't have a pre-described thing. I could imagine tons of things happen, and I never
talk
even
about
acknowledge it. I can imagine something happen. I continue to this day to be very affected by the assassination of Trayvon Martin. That one has sat with me
for a long time,
unlike any of the other ones. Just in a different way. I have muddled and thought over that event, that tragedy.
That's what I was going to say.
Numerous. I couldn't even give you a hint at the number of times. That one sits in my soul for probably a number of reasons. But then there are other ones where I don't know the story. I don't really follow it.
Or I do. So if I get in a story and then I'm interested in it, I do go down like a little bit of a rabbit hole because I want to know what I can find out about it. But then like that just sits on me. So then like I try not to be like get too involved, but then I can't just like not know.
One that sat with me for a long time? Selma Hayek's story regarding her issues with
Weinstein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it sat with me so much because reading her story and knowing when it happened specifically, as she was producing and filming Frida. And I just remember when I saw Frida, I was unfamiliar with Frida Kahlo's work. And when I saw it with my dad, and then we went to a bookstore and we got this book on her art and just reading about her even more. And just like, thank you, Selma Hayek, for introducing me to this incredible
story.
Artist, but so much more I didn't know about. So that movie is special for me. Mm-hmm. And then years later to read what she went through to make that film, that one really affected me. Would I come to Homeroom and say, do you guys know how? I don't know.
Like I said, we'll do whatever we want.
I think there are places for that. I wonder what people expect.
What their expectations are? Well, I'm setting them right now. We're going to do whatever we want. If we talk about it, we talk about it. If we don't, we don't. It's that simple.
I'd love to hear from the classmates. What do y'all think?
What are your expectations?
I mean, yeah, you can share your expectations. Just understand they're your expectations, not our directives. But then what's the like? Dave Chappelle had a joke years ago. He was talking about how after September 11th, MTV cuts to Ja Rule. Because at a time like this, what everyone's thinking is, where's Ja? What does Ja have to say? And it's just like, I don't ascribe to shut up and dribble. But at a certain point, I don't really need to hear from everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Everyone's point of view is valid in their sphere.
And I think that we could talk about anything that we want to talk about. Like if there was something of something that we wanted to address, then I think we could. But at the same time, I don't think we're forced to. So
why are we holding our hands the same?
I don't know. I always hold my hand this way.
I'm usually like this.
Yeah, you must just be looking.
The more time I spend with you, I'm just you guys are gonna see me wearing the colored glasses in a little bit, with my super villain laugh.
It's so funny that like I've been wearing this color, but like I used to switch them out, and I've been just wearing them.
Yeah, you used to switch them out. I have often told people you are a glasses influencer.
That
was before we ever did the podcast, and they were like, "Is she really?" And now it's like she will be.
But yeah,
I was just thinking about that, like Monday, I think Monday or Tuesday, in between sessions.
All right, what you got for us?
What do you mean?
Aren't you gonna do some Ask the Black Kids?
Do we have some?
You said we had some.
We have some Ask the Black Kids.
All right.
Don't worry, everyone. These days, you don't have to put anonymous. I just don't say anybody's name.
Oh, it's probably for the best.
Am I the asshole for cutting my mother out of my life?
Ooh.
Mommy issues. Now, I'm gonna just show you this.
Wow. Okay.
Just gonna say right now, guys, send the story as you want. I'm probably gonna read it so that Mrs. Sawyer and I know it because I haven't read the entire thing, we are definitely going to edit this for clarity and brevity. But don't worry, we'll make sure the core of it is delivered. Hello, I'm a 27-year-old woman. My mother is 64 years old. I have my own family consisting of my man and his daughter, whom I've known since she was 3. She's 10 now. She's like a daughter to me. Anyway, my mom adopted me when I was 8 years old. When I was 19, she evicted me when we had an argument. I told her I hated her, and she also thought I called the police on her for my job. I didn't. When I had nowhere to go, my then boyfriend at the time, when I was 19, begged his mom for me to stay there, and she let me stay for 6 months. In between that time, she tried to get my mom and I back on good terms, and nothing would work. I tried calling her multiple times over those 6 months and got met with, I don't know you, you're disowned from the family, etc. I didn't bother to drive there because I didn't want the situation to escalate. She's a real petty woman, so eventually I gave up on that relationship. I hadn't spoken to her for 6 to 7 years. I told my boyfriend, whom I met when I was 20, everything, and he would encourage me to talk to her again. After those years, I finally said yes. I introduced them to each other, and we had a family gathering. He would never want to go over there saying something was off, but he did it for me. After about 2 years talking to her again, my man and I needed help with watching our daughter. At the time, I was working 12-hour shifts 6 days a week, and he was over-the-road truck driver. So in July 2023, I asked my mom if she could watch her for us beginning in August for school, and he'd pick her up on the weekends. She agreed, and we paid her $1,000 a month to watch her, and I would also go grocery shopping so that no one would be hungry. Somehow that turned into my mom trying to get into our relationship by going through my man and asking him every day how everything was going between he and I and wanting to know everything. He would tell me she'd ask about our relationship, but when she and I spoke on the phone, she would talk to me about my daughter. I spoke to my mom maybe 3 times regarding my relationship. I'm a very private person when it comes to my family because they gossip a lot. But in those vulnerable moments, I needed her. But my man felt the need to vent to her about a lot of things in our relationship. In September, October, he told me how she'd do weird things when he was around and say messed up things and how she'd been recording their conversations when they're talking on the phone. And our daughter is saying how my mom's being mean to her. And I caught her being mean to her too, but didn't say anything. No. In between those 90 days of her babysitting, my mom was speaking very ill about me. Mind you, I met my man when I was 20. I hadn't spoken to her since I was 19. But eventually, when I was 25 to 26, so when she was lying on me and saying I did certain things, he knew she was lying. She'd tell him not to tell me anything and to keep it between them both. I confronted her and asked her why she felt the need to say those horrible things and record. Quote unquote from her, I don't need to explain myself to no bitch.
Oh.
Well, okay, I don't need to pay for your bills you're backed up on either, nor do you need to be a part of my life. She did play me a recording that night saying my man was speaking bad on my name, and I listened to it. He didn't say anything wrong, but I feel he did wrong by venting to my mom, especially since he doesn't want me talking to his mom about our relationship. And I let him know multiple times my mom and I relationship is not close. I don't talk to her about our relationship. It's different from you venting to a friend or even a therapist, but no one, especially family, should be part of your relationship. My thing is, why would you do that if we just got back into contact and then say you want us to work on our relationship? Do you think I'm going to trust you? Plus, now my man doesn't like you, especially since when he stopped having her babysit and stopped paying her, she called DFCS 2 times. And we knew it was her because very few people know my full government name outside my family, if they even remember it. I don't hardly talk to those people anymore. Luckily enough, she's not my biological kid, and he's on his P's and Q's, so I had nothing to worry about. But I can only imagine when I have my own kids how she'd act. I mean, she's called DFCS on my younger sister and tried to kidnap her youngest son's child, and he definitely isn't on good terms with her right now either.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, that was last year, November, when everything unfolded. Now, I'm thinking about her old age and how she can leave any moment. And it would be great to talk to her, but damn, man. How do you get past something like this when it's always met with excuses? I can't invite her to my wedding, baby shower, nothing. I don't trust her with the future children. This hurts and angers me so bad because in scripture it says not to be angry at your parents when they're old. And she feels like she did nothing wrong. Shaking my head. The cards I've been dealt. Help me with some advice, please.
Wow.
Am I the asshole for cutting my mother out of my life?
I don't know. I think that we need to let Therapy Robert respond to that one.
Therapy Robert?
Yeah.
Who's that?
You.
Well, I I am a therapist, but I'm not your therapist. And everything I say is for education and entertainment. This is a podcast where we hopefully have some fun and maybe provide some insight based on our experience with our relationship and life in general. I might use that one. That might be it.
I think so.
That might be the one.
That was good.
I didn't even don't know where that came from. The question, thank you for the context. The question is
she the asshole for cutting her mom out?
The question is, now I'm thinking about her old age and how she can leave any moment, and it would be great to talk to her. But how do you get past something like this when it's always met with excuses? Well, it would be nice if you could talk to your mom. Mm-hmm. Ideally, you could talk to your mom. Mm-hmm. And sure, perhaps scripture says you should not be angry at your parents when they're old. I'm pretty sure scripture doesn't recommend you're ever angry at your parents, much less anyone probably. All of that would be nice in an ideal situation. You do not have an ideal situation.
Not at all.
So you cannot trust your mother. You could not trust her when you were younger. You could not trust her as you got older. She is defensive. She does not respect you. What you can do is learn what you can do with that energy. Meaning, what are the healthy ways for you to resolve the longing for a close connection with someone that you cannot have a close connection with? So in therapy, I have done this with people whose parents are alive. I've done this with people whose parents have passed away. And it's a similar process. It's the resolving the relationship. You're not going to have that relationship with your mom because she does not have the capacity for the relationship you're describing, a healthy relationship. So it's up to you to learn to process that. You can't make her be nice. You can't make her be respectful or to care. All you can do is learn how to process that. So as always, I'm going to recommend you talk with a professional. That's my go-to.
I was going to say.
I would also add, I don't know why people do this. Why would he ever vent to her? He doesn't even know her.
Yeah.
And you guys weren't close. I could vent to my mother-in-law, but me and my mother-in-law are like this, son. I talk to my mother-in-law. I spend time with my mother-in-law. I have a relationship with my mother-in-law that my wife only finds out because my mother-in-law calls her every night and tells her.
Because I have a great relationship with my mom.
Yeah. But even then, I don't vent to her. I don't really vent. To be fair.
I was going to say that's just not your nature. But
if I was concerned about something, if I needed, it would not be weird. But I can also give you a list of 10 movies my mother-in-law and I have seen. We'll put it to you like this. We're about to start seeing the sequels to the things we've seen. Like, because again, me and my mother-in-law
have a relationship.
Are like this, son. You aren't close to your mom, so why would he think this?
Yeah, I think
sometimes people just need to talk. I get that.
Yeah, I think
shit should have never happened.
I agree that the whole getting a professional, I think that might help, right? To talk through this, and then 2, I think you need to also talk with your partner. Is it boyfriend or are they married? I can't remember. Just talk about just some level setting there of
And he might know now, but
he might have been trying. He might have known to what extent how bad she was.
Yeah.
And he was trying to build.
Even though she told him, he might have thought, well, they're working on it, so
yes.
But still, the venting. I have said this many times. I go back and forth. I want people to have the outlet. I don't want it to just be, something bad's happening. I can't tell anybody. But then, like you said, you don't need to be telling all these people your business.
Mm-mm. Yep.
So if it's to help you, sure,
yep.
Share
because
with your community.
Happens is,
but if they're going to hurt you, they're
not part of your day-to-day life. And so when you may present something that you're working through, and you may work through it and make decisions on how you're going to do something, they're still only left with what you.
But that's people who intend good. That's if you intend good. No,
I'm talking about you in the relationship.
But the mom, if let's say we have a problem and I go and I tell your mom.
Yeah. And
then your mom doesn't know that we resolved it.
Yeah.
So she already looking at you because she prefers me anyway.
Oh,
so she's looking at you some kind of
No. Don't. You see, there's a thing. You see, don't ever make my mom have to pick. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I could tell you the same thing.
Okay, then.
Don't ever make your mom have to pick.
So that's what I'm gonna say. You don't.
Don't ever make your mom have to pick.
Don't ever make my mom have to pick.
Don't do it. And to my 2 sister-in-laws, don't ever make your mom have to pick. Because I think you all already know.
Okay. I'll let you live in,
Okay.
in your bubble.
Okay.
In your bubble.
All right.
In your bubble.
Okay.
In your bubble.
Play
But what I'm
with these
saying
people.
is, yeah, that's the reason why you shouldn't get like that involved with telling other people the story, like or things you need to work on. And I think that's why you need like a non-biased, like outside person if you're working.
Tell the therapist.
That's what I'm saying. Because
Or the relationship coach.
yeah, I'm just saying after that, it's like, okay, that's that thing. And then either going to follow up on it or you never talk to them again, or it's just a mute point versus people that are like, and you're going to see day to day.
People that are
they're not going to know all that.
People that are recording you. People that are really just trying to
They're
find
not
out
gonna
what
know
the problem is.
She's just looking for something to use against you. Like it's not.
I don't got to help no
that's
bitch.
Yeah. And I see that to me is just and so I hear the struggle there, right? Because like part of her is like, okay, that's disrespectful. I want nothing to do with you. But isn't that's your mom? I don't know. That's kind of suck. She's kind of a bad human.
Kind of. You can be kind of a bad human.
No, I don't know all of her.
You said there's no levels to bad human.
I'm only hearing from her side. So from her side, she's a bad human.
So, wishing you healing.
Yes.
Wishing you
positive vibes.
that you begin the healing journey because this goes back to your childhood.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to unpack there.
Yeah. I mean, and this, even that she adopted you, and then this was the way she treated you. So there's a lot that you could process and work on, and I hope you are able to begin that.
Yeah, good luck.
In our next Ask the Black Kids. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I don't want her parents to stay with us for Christmas? I don't know the story. I don't know the story. I don't know the story.
Oh.
I'm going to just lean to no.
I'm going to say no already.
I don't know the story. Don't want to make assumptions. But
no.
I think we have clearly said how we feel about people staying with us. So, yeah, let's read the story. I, 37-year-old male, and my girlfriend, 36-year-old female, have been together for 2 years and have lived together for 6 months in a house she owned before we met. Her parents live halfway across the country, and we've had what I thought was a good relationship. We recently went to her dad's family reunion. We flew out a day early and spent some time with her parents. No issues at all. We drove up to the reunion with her parents and sister the next day. Still no issues. I helped the family organizer serve meals at the family picnic, met a ton of relatives, and was polite to everyone. The second night we were there, my girlfriend and I decided to go out to the movies. I had to get dressed while she was hanging out in her parents' room. I went to pick her up, and her mom answered the door. I said hello and walked in. Some of her cousins and sisters were there, and her dad was fully in bed. Sheets wrapped around him and everything. I felt a little uncomfortable, but let them finish their conversation, and we left. The next day, while at lunch with some family, her dad caused a scene telling her he wants to talk to her. She comes back, and we leave lunch. She tells me her dad is upset because I don't, quote, go out of my way to acknowledge or say hello to him. I'm pretty shocked by this because I do say hello. We've talked the whole trip, but I have been hanging back and letting him enjoy his family. I couldn't disagree more, but I called and texted him asking to talk so we could clear the air. He never responded. We went to the closing reception and he acted like everything was fine. We drove 2 hours back to the airport and spent 4 hours together before our planes took off. Still no mention of the issue. Dirty game. It's been over a month and he has still not reached out to me, even though my girlfriend has told him he needs to. She is still pressuring me to say hello when her parents are on the phone, even if I'm interrupting their conversation, which I just think is rude.
Yeah.
I also think this is not about a hello. Her dad has always been the only man in her life, and she's not introduced anyone to her parents in over 10 years. Her parents are planning to come stay with us for Christmas, and my girlfriend expects us to give up our bedroom to them and have us sleep in the guest room.
Nope.
I've told her that unless her dad has a conversation with me about his issues and clear the air, I don't feel comfortable with him staying at our house, acting like nothing is wrong. To ignore me for this long after I've reached out to him is a big F you in my book. Either her parents have to find another place to stay or I will. And if it's me, I don't know if or when I'm coming back.
Ooh.
Caveat, I was ordering an engagement ring before we left for the family reunion. My girlfriend has made it clear that she expects me to ask her dad for permission to marry her. I was planning to ask him at the family reunion until all this happened. I have no plans to go show him another sign of respect after he has blatantly disrespected me, especially for a silly tradition when we are damn near 40 years old. Am I the asshole?
Wow. That was a ask us.
That's a Ask the Black Kids.
Wow.
Well written.
Very well written. Yes.
Bravo.
Yes. Very well written. I don't think he's the asshole, but there's a lot of things going on there. And I think he needs to talk with the girlfriend first, because they're not on the same field. They're not on the same. They're not in the same atmosphere. Like you and I are on the same plane by staying here, kind of thing. But it's like a man ego thing there too.
Really
going on, I think. Power there.
Shout out Ghost.
So, yeah, I would start with the girlfriend first. You'll need to sync up and be on the same page on what's what. And then the father, at some point, they're gonna have to have a discussion if you're wanting to pursue the relationship. The father is always going to be a part of the life there, so you're gonna have to have some sort of relationship with them. I do give the poster credit because he's been trying to clear the air. At least from what he's telling us, he's trying to make the intent to, hey, let's hash it out. If I disrespected you in any kind of way, let's talk about it of what his expectations are and see if he can meet them there. But the father is being a little childish, in my opinion. In my opinion. Well, I mean, I call that childish.
Daddy acting like a bitch. You talking about a little childish?
I ain't gonna say childish.
Okay. Well, I don't think childish and bitch are interchangeable.
They're not.
I'm gonna say he acts like a little bitch. But to answer your question, you are not the asshole.
Not at all.
For not wanting them to stay there.
No.
Here are where some of the issues that stood out to me. You moved into her place. This is her house. You cannot tell her that her parents cannot stay in her house.
Facts. That's facts.
It might feel like it's our place. It's not.
Nope.
It's her place.
Mm-hmm. That's why they need to talk first.
You need to be on the same page as your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys need to have real conversations.
Yep.
You see, today, me and my mother-in-law are like this, son. But there was a time when she could not stand me. This was a brief time, and it was due to a severe misunderstanding, which we will definitely save for another day. Very brief time. Which, to be fair, I was like 16. We weren't even dating.
Hey, it's only a part of. She acted with the information that was provided to her.
She acted with she formed a belief based on erroneous information. Yeah. When I was framed, but again, we'll tell that story another time. It's a little long and hilarious. So, and it's even before we were together. So, but you know, you got to get on the same page with your relationship partner. Now, she also has to read the room, I guess might be the term, because how are you going to ask her father permission if her father won't talk to you?
Yeah.
It might be nice. Remember what I told the last poster, the last Ask the Black Kids? It would be nice if you could ask the father for permission to marry his daughter. That's not patriarchal or nothing wrong there, right? Make sure you stick them for the dowry.
If those are the traditions, that's the traditions, and she's asking for compliance. And if you are okay with complying, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't know if he's okay with complying.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I think he was.
I think they need to have that discussion because I would phrase that was like, okay, where do you think this is going? Right? Do you foresee us getting married? And you're saying, and part of us getting married is contingent on me asking him. I'm not going to ask somebody who won't speak to me or respect me enough to respond to a text or something. So where do you see this going?
I will add to that. You mentioned in your letter that if the parent's going to stay there, you aren't, and you don't know if or when you will come back.
Yeah.
So you're willing to end this relationship.
Yeah.
Over this. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. When you marry someone, you do, to an extent, marry their family. What are the 4 things they say you got to be on point of? Religion, family, kids, finances. Things you really got to have an understanding with before you marry someone. So is this something?
If it's a deal breaker, then
the deal may be broken.
Correct. Because it's her house, and she said her mom and dad are coming in there and come. Not just staying. They're gonna stay in your bedroom.
That's just disgusting to me.
Yeah, that's what's going. Y'all.
I'm
Gonna
not
stay
with
in my
that shit
bedroom.
at all. Why do you have to stay in my bed?
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Why do you? They have a guest room?
That's what she said. They're gonna stay in the guest room. They're gonna stay in their bed.
Why wouldn't the guests stay in the guest room?
That's what I said. Oh, because it's my mom. She have a better bed. Nope.
She does have a better bed.
At the hotel, you can have a better bed.
At her house, she has a better bed.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, that's type awkward to me. Ain't nobody staying in my bed. That's
No,
that's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. I don't even know I don't want you to stay in my bed.
I know. Sometimes it's like, I don't know if I need you in the bed.
Oh man. Someone left a comment and they talked about how they live. They have their own bedroom and bathroom. They are married, and they have different bedrooms. They have different schedules, and they said it works amazing for them.
Oh, that's great. I've read some stuff about that.
Yeah.
For some people, that does work.
I think that can work.
I could think so too.
I don't think separate houses.
No, I don't
when
know
you're
about
married.
That. I don't. I mean, it's what is that married, right? Is it that union or is it just that legal certification kind of thing? Because some people are just legally married.
We're legally married.
Well, we're legally and we want to be with each other. There's a union that's already there. So
101% of the time, baby.
Exactly. So, I mean, for others, it's different.
I think that can work, the separate bedrooms. It depends. It has to be a lot of discussion. The person in the comment wrote, this was on YouTube, the person wrote, they hook up whatever they want. So it's not an issue. They get to hook up in this room or that room. They're going all over the place.
That's kind of
it
fun.
works great. I forgot how long they said they've been doing it. They said it's the best. But what I love is they ended that it works for us.
Correct.
That's what I say all the time. What works for us might not work for you.
That's right. So I'm glad to hear that. I've read that but that used to be like the tradition or something.
No, it didn't.
Separate
beds, yes.
Separate beds,
not separate
not
bedrooms.
rooms. You're right. Separate beds.
They have their own bedroom and bathroom.
Oh, I love that's kind of nice.
Yeah. It can be arranged. Let me know. Let me know. I'll make sure you have a wonderful, classy, top-notch luxury.
Oh.
Let me know. There's going to be some changes that go along with that. Just let me know. Anytime you're ready, we can have that talk whenever you want.
No, I'm good right now.
Right now?
Right now.
If it changes, let me know. Let me know.
Do you remember the stories when we went to South Africa and we visited that village?
Light flex. What happened?
You remember the whole story about I don't remember what they called him, but like the husband, but he's like us. He's also the person in charge of the village.
Like the chief?
They didn't call him a chief though.
Okay.
But he didn't sleep with any of the wives. He slept in his own spot. Yeah, that's a tradition. That was news to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. We were talking about the whole arrangement.
I think you just wanted to flex that you went to South Africa.
No, it was in the village. The village was.
Flex away.
That was a cool fact. That was something I learned.
Sometimes you have to pop out and show. I'm not mad. Flex away.
I remember that. He had multiple wives, and he would sleep in his own hut.
For the life of me, I can't imagine why someone would want multiple wives.
Right, but it's because he has to build a village.
Yeah. And respect to that man.
Right. And then
and his high blood pressure.
So then the people talk about that, but they don't understand all the stuff behind it. Like, you have to be able to afford all the multiple wives and all the children. That's the part they leave out. Like, they just stop, there's multiple wives. Yeah. No.
I think most men hear that. They're like, sex.
Yeah. No.
And it's like, okay.
No. Okay. It's like, there's multiple wives, but you got to afford each wife, all the children, and the mom. So it's like all of them.
You can be like this with one mother-in-law, but how many mother-in-laws can you really be like this?
Correct.
Yeah, it's not for me. I'm really not built like that. But respect to that man and all of his heart conditions and headaches.
Well, he kind of didn't have all those heartaches, I don't think. At least not from the first wife. She don't have to do anything. The village takes care. She doesn't have to cook. She doesn't have to clean. The mother-in-law gets to say yes or no to the second, third, or whatever wife. Like, it has to be approved by the first mother-in-law.
I'm not built like that.
I'm like, wow.
You would do that?
No. I like you too much. I wouldn't want to share you.
I don't want to be shared.
I wouldn't like that.
It's just not a dream.
I wouldn't like that.
Had never had.
I don't want you come in my hut, knocking down the stick and then walking out, maybe knocking the stick to some other hut. That's not going to work.
Yeah, that would not work for me.
Good.
Glad we're on the same page.
Glad we're on the same page. Yes.
Now about these bedrooms.
No bed and full bath.
Just let me know. Just let me know. That can be arranged.
Oh, boy. All righty. So do you want me to start with some stories here?
Yeah.
So I had some really good ones. Or at least they interest me. There's a really funny one, so I'm gonna read this funny one to me. I thought it was fun.
You don't want to leave the funny ones for after all the terrible ones?
I don't have any terrible ones.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Is it an Only Black Kids episode if there are not terrible stories? Bad humans everywhere.
Well, there might be some bad humans, but they might still be funny.
All right.
Alrighty. So, am I the asshole for explaining to my husband he's the reason we keep having daughters? I, 30-year-old female.
Oh, no.
Have 2 daughters and am currently pregnant with the 3rd girl. We just found out this morning. On the drive to my husband's mother's house, he explained how he was a bit disappointed about having a girl, but then he said, I should have expected this because you have 3 sisters.
Oh, God.
I explained that me having 3 sisters has nothing to do with the gender of our child. He says it's genetics and that I'm the reason for our daughters. Shit. I told him that's not how biology works, and he said it is. He then went on to explain that his mom has only 2 brothers and his 2 oldest brothers have 2 sons because his mom's side. I told him that doesn't make any sense since it should be the same for him then. He said no, because both of their wives have more brothers than sisters. He was getting frustrated, but I was just laughing at him. I explained that him and his oldest brothers have different dads, but out of his dad's 8 kids, 3 are boys and 5 are girls. The men determines the gender. He says that's not true because his kids his dad had with his mom are all boys. He dropped it and said he'll ask his mom, who has a degree in biology. So we get to his parents' house for brunch, and he asks his mom if I'm the reason we keep having girls. She told him bluntly that the man determines the gender and is actually not a 50-50 chance. She then went on to explain that the more of one gender you have, the higher the chances that your next child will also be that gender. So he asked, is it likely that he'll have a boy? She told him that if he keeps trying, it might happen. He just walked to the car and said he's going for a drive. I received a text from him saying that I didn't have to embarrass him like that. I was so confused. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
She's not the asshole.
Yes, she is.
Why is she the asshole?
Yes, she is.
Why is she the asshole?
I'm going to answer the question, and I'm going to answer with a parable. Now, I know this parable, but I want to read it. And you know, the person that brought this parable to my attention was my loving wife. I'm going to answer why she's the asshole with a parable. The donkey told the tiger, the grass is blue. The tiger replied, no, the grass is green. The discussion became heated, and the two decided to submit the issue to arbitration, so they approached the lion. As they approached the lion on his throne, the donkey started screaming, Your Highness, isn't it true that the grass is blue? The lion replied, If you believe it is true, the grass is blue. The donkey rushed forward and continued, The tiger disagrees with me, contradicts me, and annoys me. Please punish him. The king then declared, The tiger will be punished with 3 days of silence. The donkey jumped with joy and went on his way, content and repeating, The grass is blue, the grass is blue. The tiger asked the lion, Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is green. The lion replied, You've known and seen the grass is green. The tiger asked, So why do you punish me? The lion replied, That has nothing to do with the question of whether the grass is blue or green. The punishment is because it is degrading for a brave, intelligent creature like you to waste time arguing with an ass. And on top of that, and most importantly, you came and bothered me with that question just to validate something you already knew was true. The moral of the parable is, the biggest waste of time is arguing with the fool and fanatic who doesn't care about the truth of reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions. Never waste time on discussions that make no sense. There are people who, for all the evidence presented to them, do not have the ability to understand. Others who are blinded by ego, hatred, and resentment, and the only thing that they want is to be right, even if they aren't. When ignorance screams, intelligence moves on. Live the pursuit of growth. A wise man once told me, don't argue with fools, because people in the distance can't tell who is who. So I stand on the fact that she is the asshole.
No.
Because not only did she marry this dumb motherfucker, not only did she procreate thrice with this idiot, she heard this stupidity.
She just realized that,
and now she brought it to me.
Her husband doesn't understand basic biology.
I don't understand basic biology. I'm no biological master. I can't even say the word. I'm no biological mastermind. Put me in 6th grade biology, I probably won't. I'll probably do all right. But
9th grade?
Well, I mean, I passed. I already did that shit. You were there.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
You passed, I passed. I learned this in 5th grade.
I'm telling you.
Maybe slow down on making babies with this guy because there's a capacity issue.
I read that. I was like, this can't be real. That's hilarious.
She's the asshole.
Yeah.
She is the asshole.
She's not the asshole. She don't know what
she's for sure. What did I tell you the other day? What? More and more people are telling me things and it just clicks in my mind. Oh, I understand where the miscommunication was. You're stupid. Oh, I didn't.
And some people are slower than others. Doesn't mean
that's not slow.
That's slow.
That's not slow.
That's slow.
How old is he?
I don't remember. How old did they say they were? 30? Well, she's 30. She didn't say how old her husband is.
Let's just assume he's around the same age.
Uh-huh.
And whose mom was the biologist?
His mom.
Hey, just because your mom's a chef doesn't mean you can cook, but you can probably boil water, fam.
You've been exposed to something.
You don't, come on. Just because your dad can build a house with his bare hands doesn't mean you're Bob the Builder, but you probably know what a hammer is.
I'm going to ask my mama. I'm going to ask my mama.
She's the asshole.
No, she's not.
I stand on that. Let us know in the comments if you agree with me.
That's our first one we truly disagree. I don't think she's the asshole.
She's the asshole.
Not at all.
You heard this stupid shit.
She didn't do it. He's the one that took it to his mom. She didn't take it to the mom.
Again.
Exactly.
In this story.
She didn't take it to the mom.
In this story, we, as the readers, are the lion. He is obviously the jackass. She is the tiger. Who was punished? The tiger.
No, I get that part.
Because not only did you argue with stupid, you brought it to us.
I thought that was hilarious.
You're the asshole.
I read that thing. That thing had me dying laughing.
Asshole.
That had me dying laughing. All right. So do you want something scandalous or you want something lighthearted?
I want lighthearted.
You want lighthearted? Okay. I'll give you something lighthearted here.
I'm here for the giggles and tee-hees.
Okay. So
I get tired. Honestly, I don't love the salacious, sex-riddled betrayal story. I don't love those stories. That's not my life. I don't need that shit.
Okay. So.
But to be fair, I don't watch a lot of Tyler Perry movies.
All right. So here we go. Am I the asshole for eating too many cucumbers? This is perhaps the most bizarre "Am I the asshole" post I have ever written, but I'm honestly so confused. Like, I feel like I can't possibly be the asshole. But then sometimes people are too blind to see their own flaws, so maybe I really am. For as long as I can remember, I've had this quirk. I guess you could call that. I never snack on anything other than cucumber. I shouldn't say never technically, since socially I'll get ice cream or eat a few chips at a party. I'm not a picky eater by any means, but my snack of choice has always been cucumbers. I eat pretty healthy anyway, so a lot of fruits and veggies are part of my diet. Since veggies are lower in calories, I have to eat a lot of them to eat enough. So I usually have some sliced cucumbers in my purse that I munch on throughout the day. And I always have a cucumber in my car that I just eat whole while I'm driving.
Whoa.
I go through several cucumber daily. Although it's not healthy, I've had days where I've felt really depressed and overwhelmed and have binge eating nothing but cucumber. I think I've eaten perhaps 35 on extreme days.
What the hell?
Recently, this quirk has begun to drive my 22-year-old, she's 22 female, boyfriend 33 male of 6 months insane. His words, not mine. He says it's inappropriate to carry them everywhere with me. We spent last weekend at his parents' lake house and I provided my own cucumber to snack on. One night before bed, I was in my room gnawing on a cucumber like a savage when his mom walked in. Under normal circumstances, I never would eat around others. I'd slice it up. She was puzzled but chuckled and said, "My, you do like cucumber." My boyfriend later told me that I humiliated him with my childish and immature eating habits. I told him that his mom caught me in a low moment and he was being ridiculous since he eats a bag of chips every day and I don't bat an eye. He told me that chips were a normal snack and whole cucumbers were deranged. He told me I needed to stop eating cucumbers and that my behavior was becoming a deal breaker for him. I feel really bothered, but I think cucumbers are a weird hill to die for. I don't want to lose my relationship, so am I the asshole?
The fuck are we talking about? What? So first off, if I may.
Yes.
Stop calling it a quirk. It's an eating disorder. And I'm saying it's an eating disorder because in my low moments, I eat 35 cucumbers. What are we talking about? There's eating 35 of anything would probably, like, come on. And you said binge. Binge isn't really associated with healthy. So I think there's something that you might want to talk to a professional and sit on somebody's couch about. Your boyfriend, however, is probably just mad that you're not on his cucumber.
Ooh.
Because if it's so childish and all this kind of stuff and humiliating him and all that kind of shit. First off, you've been together 6 months. Why are you staying the night at his mom's house? You guys need to slow the hell down. But that's me. That's a personal thing. Do as you wish. You counting his chips. He's counting your cucumbers. He thinks it's a bad thing. It's your way of life. What are you really fighting over? You don't want to lose this relationship of 6 months where you're driving him insane and he thinks you're childish?
Yep.
That's crazy. So are you the asshole? No. Do I think you might want to speak to a nutritionist and a therapist? For sure. And is he jealous of you having the wrong cucumber in your mouth? Totally.
So there's a lot of updates and edits that I'm not going to read. But I thought that was a bizarre one.
That was hella bizarre.
And so I was like, what?
Damn, I should have gone with the scandalous. You said lighthearted. That doesn't seem lighthearted. That seems...
There was clarification on the type of cucumbers. So it weren't the big cucumbers, like the Persian ones that I buy for us.
It's too late. She said like a savage.
Yeah, it's like a savage.
She said like a savage. Classy. Bougie. Okay, you know, like, okay. No, she said that.
So, yeah, she that to me was an odd one.
That was odd as shit.
I have another odd one, but I think I only have time for one more because I love my toxic stuff. So, I actually found one that is a revenge.
God, you love revenge and pettiness.
It's not quite toxic. I'm going to save that one for you. But this one's really good. This is the long play. This is really good.
You hyping it up.
This is really good.
You got to deliver if you hype it up.
I planted bamboo that overran my neighbor's property over a security light. About 4 years ago, I used to live in a nice HOA in a small town in Texas and enjoyed having only one neighbor over my backyard fence. The plot was about 2 acres, and on the other side of the backyard butted up to a hayfield. The stars were beautiful at night because of virtually no light pollution. Until the neighbor decided to install an incredibly bright security light over their back porch aimed right at my back patio and bedroom windows. I tried to ignore it at first and put the shades in the bedroom, but out on the patio, it was like having a bright LED headlight in your face all night. I consulted the HOA about adding a privacy addition to the fence to increase its height, and they said no because it was already at the 8 feet max allowed height. They said there's nothing in the bylaws or whatsoever about bright lights, so nothing they could do. Diplomacy. So I hated for this to be the thing where we finally had a formal greeting after 3 years of back porch waves, but I walked over and rang the doorbell with $20. I politely explained how the light was causing the aforementioned nuisance and asked if there was any way I could convince him to point the light down or in a different direction, and even offered to buy him a case of beer, that's what the $20 was for, out of goodwill, and even a new motion sensing light. He seemed nice and agreed to point it down, but after waiting a month, nothing changed. I went back to have another polite conversation, and he said he had changed his mind and was going to leave it on every night and leave it pointed as is. Petty revenge. Needless to say, I was a bit upset. Diplomacy failed and started figuring out how to win. If the military taught me anything, there's always ways to adapt and overcome. So I started researching fast-growing plants to create big privacy walls and reading through the HOA bylaws and city-state ordinance about what I could and couldn't plant, and if there were any repercussions for encroachment across the property lines. I quickly discovered running bamboo. Despite being very invasive, would grow super fast and make the neighbor's house and light disappear from view, and there was nothing the HOA, state, city books to prevent me from planting it or cause legal recourse if it spread and grew on his house on the fence. Only thing he could do is cut anything that grew on his side of the line. So I pulled the trigger and I planted a bunch of golden bamboo, which grows and spreads fast in Texas, crazy fast, and grows to about 20 feet tall. I didn't care if it took over the fence line because his house is 15 feet from the fence line where mine was, 50 yards away. So I planted a bunch right against the fence and only put root barrier on my side to prevent it from spreading into my yard. Within 6 months, his house and light were gone from my view, replaced by a pretty bamboo jungle row at the end of my yard. Within 1 year, he complained it was growing into his yard via mailed letters. They went right into the trash with no response. He rang my door once and I looked at him through the window, but didn't answer the door. I unexpectedly sold the house and moved 2 years after planting for a career opportunity. It's been 2 years since I sold, and I just checked the property on Google Earth, and his entire backyard is bamboo. That was the petty revenge.
And you like that?
I love it. I love it.
Savagery.
I love it.
He picked the right one.
That bamboo, you can't get rid of it. I loved it. That was the long play. He tried to be nice twice. He tried to be nice.
How dare you want to secure your house?
He didn't take it real well. He said, "Can you just not
protect your
just
family.
not have it pointing at mine?"
I'll teach you.
That's it.
Okay.
I love it. That was a good revenge.
Where does this come from for you?
What do you mean?
This pettiness.
No, that's settling it.
Oh, okay.
That's settling it.
Okay.
They tried to do it nicely. So now it's settled.
Uh-huh.
It was good.
Was it?
It was great.
Was it?
It was.
Seemed kind of toxic to me.
It wasn't toxic.
It seemed hella toxic to me.
That wasn't toxic.
Okay.
He did his research. I loved it. He was in compliance with the state, the city, the HOA. Love it. See? It's a problem solver.
Hey, just incidentally, as a kid, like, did you root for Mufasa or for Scar?
Mufasa all the way.
Just wondering.
All the way.
Again, incidentally, is out of nowhere.
Scar was for evil.
Ariel or Ursula?
Always Ariel.
Okay.
Always Ariel. Okay. But Ursula, she took opportunity.
Oh, tell me more.
No, I mean, I understand Ursula. I didn't say I liked her more.
Oh.
I'm always Team Ariel.
You don't condemn Ursula though.
No, I thought she took advantage, but there was an opportunity. That's how the real world is.
So you're watching Little Mermaid as a kid and you're like, huh, this is the real world, Ariel. If you're gonna be so nice, really?
Probably at some point. It probably was.
That's it's kind of toxic too.
No, not really. That's real.
Okay.
Do you have yours?
You say it's real, I say it's toxic. Which I guess means it's time for Toxic Confessions. Calm down, woman. Calm down. Control yourself.
I'm controlled.
What he said? Be a proper wife.
Oh, don't start that shit again.
That story is funny. Because
Don't start that.
at this point, that story is like a month ago. I still think about that story. You're way too broke to be so sexist.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. It's funny. That's funny.
Ain't that no broke boy talking to me like that?
That's knowing your worth.
No. That's quite literally knowing his worth. Oh, be a proper wife. That story is hilarious to me. We should read that one again. I'm 77 and healthy. My mind is clear. My younger wife, she's 38, refers to me in the past tense in front of me. She treats me like I'm fading right before her eyes. It's hard to stay loving with a person who treats you like you're no longer alive. Oh, Grady, I loved you. You were a great man in your day. I miss you so much. Some days are harder than others. What am I going to do as a widow? I confronted her about these weird conversations. I watched you sleeping and it dawned on me how close you are to death. I'm preparing myself. I asked my friend, a retired police officer, if I should be worried, and he said, you can't outrun a bullet. So get your affairs in order. Get the last laugh and leave all your assets to your ex. My ex, a good woman, I left her for my current wife, told me, you've never done anything for anybody else. For you, death is a soul cleanse. Lean into it. Why does everyone think I'm dying soon? Are they plotting on me?
Oh, my. Oh, my. Goodness.
First off, this story got to be fake. And I'm going to tell you why. This man named Grady. His name Grady?
Grady, that's from Sanford and Son.
That's from Sanford and Son.
Bam, bam, bam.
Elizabeth. Oh, wait. Elizabeth. I'm coming to meet you. And then he did, which is...
I love Sanford and Son.
His name, Grady. Stop it. So
It might be Grady.
Are they plotting on him?
They don't have to.
Why?
It's just a matter of time.
What? Really? He's 77.
I mean, to her, though, she's 37. She's going to think that.
She's 38.
Well, 38.
She can die today.
She could. She very well could. But, it's more likely that he would go first.
It was more likely the ex and the new one got something going.
Might
She
be.
told him lean into it.
Yeah.
Lean into death. God.
Well, he did leave her for this one, so
All these stories are savage. Savagery.
He's gonna sit there smiling. Closes out.
Any suggestions on how to close it out?
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
You don't want to tell them watch OBK Reacts?
You can tell him that.
You don't want to tell them send us an email at asktheblackkids@gmail.com?
You can tell him that.
Check us out on all social media at Only Black Kids.
You can tell them that.
Just want to say bye.
Yeah. I've already done more than my part in this episode.
What is your part?
To just show up, look pretty, and respond.
And what is my part?
All the other stuff.
So I don't look pretty.
No, you're handsome.
What's the difference?
Handsome is for the males.
I don't ascribe to your heteronormative gender
Yes, you do.
roles. No, I don't.
You're male.
Thank you, classmates, for checking in to this episode of Pure Savagery. Oh my goodness, this is all these stories. Why she said she's eating the cucumber like a savage? Like what? Like what? Like what is that? Like, what? And then they were the little ones. 35. 35. That's a lot of cucumbers.
That's a lot of
Of any size. That's a lot.
I agree. That's a
All
lot.
right.
Of cucumbers.
Thank you for tuning in. Please seek professional help, especially if you're going through anything like that. And see you next time.
Bye.